Black Lives Matter. 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 Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter. Keep it going.
Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
No justice.
No peace. No peace. No peace. No peace.
So can I get you to say and spell your first and last name?
AKA Akasha Brown, AKA SHABROW.
And then Akasha, what is the message you'd like to share here today? What are you standing in solidarity with?
I'm standing in solidarity with my fellow people of color, my Black people community. I think it's really, really important to not be silent and to come out and speak about this because it's an injustice that has been happening for decades, and it's so horrible that people are still going through this oppression. And I hate it so much. So I really want to stand here and, get the message out and hopefully invoke some real change.
I never like you to
This is what we need people to see, that we are here to fight for each other and love on each other, and to just see people from all different types of background, all different types of ethnicities, sexualities here in one part together to stand for something that has oppressed my people for years makes me want to cry. I'm one of the organizers for today's event. I started this 4 days ago with a team of Black students. Thank you. We started the first thing when we first had our first Zoom meeting, because we can't meet in person because everything's off of Zoom. The first thing I had them do is say their why. Why do you want this to happen? What is the message that you want to get out to the protesters today? And the thing that I want to say is, this is unity. This is community. These are the people that we can rely on, trust on, fall on. And so continue to be an ally, a support system for any Black person, for anybody, period. And just love on them and love on them and keep loving on them. So safety. A couple of safety things, because safety is our #1 priority. I'm just going to let you know we have been threatened by white supremacists. We have been threatened by people in San Jose who are trying to come here today to incite violence. And I want to say that this is a peaceful protest. And if you see something, say something. We do not want our women and children in danger. We do not want people in danger. So if you see something, help the person out as much as you can. So a couple logistics. In case something happens, we have people in the crowd with anti-acid spray. That's the quickest relief. We did a lot of research just in case tear gas does come out, God forbid. We have that in the crowd. We also have waters. It's a hot day, so please do not get dehydrated. We have a lot of waters in coolers, so they're cold too. We have a bunch of snacks. We have posters for anyone who don't have posters. We already have them pre-made. You can also create them. And we also have a voter registration table.
USA first!
So if you are not registered, this is your time to take your stand and use your voice to make some change that can go into our government, because we got to make these motherfuckers get the fuck out of office. If you are taking pictures, blur out or pixelate people's faces. We do not want identities coming out just in case hate groups try to hack and try to get into these information. So we want people to be as safe as possible. There's a medical tent between the library and the portables. If you are hurt, if you need band-aids, we have paramedics who are also there who are volunteering their time in service. So also make sure to go over there. Please be hydrated. Please be safe. If you see something, like we said, say something. Stop violence. Just peaceful. So we're going to have our first speaker, a community member. So if y'all can cheer him up.
Just a quick announcement. Can everybody hear this? Yeah! Even all the way in the back.
Good afternoon. And as I always try to do when I speak somewhere, hopefully I won't give anybody anything. And that is all power to the people.
All power to the people.
Power to the people. And sometimes we have to remind ourselves that power rests in our hands. That's where the power is. The problem is that most of us don't know that. And so we need to get educated to the fact that we have the power. We have the power. There are more of us than there are members of the ruling class in this country. There are more of us. And so we have to get to the point where we can become foot soldiers for our own justice. And this is what starts it. With this. This is what starts it. I'm going to pull this down. Okay, I'm sorry. But this is what starts it. Okay? And so I'm going to say just a couple of words, and then I want to personalize something, and then I'll take my seat or whatever I'm going to do after this. My name is Mel Mason. Among other things, I grew up in this town. I also served on the city council here from 1980 to 84, and I spent much of my time, if not most of my time, using that council seat to continue to fight against police brutality against black people. I'm also a former member of the Black Panther Party. And one of the results of that was just an up-close familiarity with police murder. So I lost a lot of comrades, some of whom were really close to me back in the late 60s and throughout the 70s. And I miss them and mourn them consistently all the time. But they gave their lives for this. They gave their lives for this. And so I'm heartened, certainly by seeing all of you here, and I'm really heartened by seeing so many young people who are stepping up. People talk about how young people are irresponsible. That's a bunch of bullshit. You know, you are responsible. You all rose to this occasion. You didn't have to do this. That's right. You didn't have to do this. But you did that because you have something innately inside of you that's about justice. That's about justice. So I had the privilege of speaking at a rally yesterday in Salinas, and I certainly won't go into all that I talked about there, but there are some things that I think are pretty critical. And then I'm going to get to the personal note. There needs to be a movement, and I think for a lot of us, we need to understand clearly what a movement is. See? This is not a movement, but this can be the beginning of a movement. A movement is long-term. A movement is sustainable. A movement requires the ability to organize and mobilize for the long term. It requires mobilization, it requires organization, certainly it requires thought. And so after these demonstrations are over, and they're going to be, and that's what the rulers of this country are counting on. Because they will sit back, and I don't care how much you loot, burn, or whatever, because you can't loot and burn them. They don't mind other folks being looted and burned. As I pointed out yesterday, though, if you talk about looting and all of that, black people have been looted for 400 years. The looting began over 400 years ago when slavers came to Africa and captured my ancestors, put them on a boat, sailed them across what they called the Middle Passage, and brought them here. When we got here and we were further dehumanized, that was looting, when we became property. So don't talk to me about looting, because we know what looting historically has been. People of Mexican descent have been the victims of looting. What do you call it when this country took half of that country and made it its own? If that's not looting, I don't know what looting is. And when you further dehumanize the people by taking every opportunity to declare the people who were originally here as illegal aliens, that's further dehumanization. And then, of course, we go through all of the stuff, the fall of Reconstruction, the Black Codes era, Jim Crow. All of those things were about looting and dehumanizing. And so we're here today because we're not going to put up with dehumanization and looting on the part of the ruling class in this country anymore. Finally, when people talk about why it is that in certain communities police behave differently, you have to understand where policing in this country comes from. Policing in this country has historical deep roots in slavery. Policing then was about capturing runaway slaves. And so that mentality and that systemic belief kind of creeps itself on down through generations and stuff, so that when you see blacks, when you see black communities, which have been totally devastated any way that you want to look at it, the more devastated those communities are, the more numbers of police are going to be patrolling in those areas. And so we have to, so this fight that we're in now, has to be about also getting rid of all of the social and economic disparities that confront us and beset us in our communities as well. Because when our communities get well off, then we can determine how many police officers we want to have in our community, or if we want to have any at all. Lastly, I know I'm talking too long, I apologize, okay? Because on May 19th, 1998, which ironically is the birthday of Malcolm X, a friend of mine by the name of Charles Edwin Vaughn Sr. was murdered by this police department. Charles was, in addition to being the big brother that I never had, was also a school teacher. He had just finished his administrative credential. He was working to become a principal. He was also, had just been accepted in a doctoral program, and then he became mentally ill. And so on that day, after 20 plus years of dealing with mental illness, cops from this place, Louis Lumpkin, Joseph Bertania, and Ronald Guth, I'm gonna name them. And they can try to sue me if they want to. But people need to know who these murderers are. Louis Lumpkin was black, which brings up another thing for you. Don't get caught up in the fact that a black police officer killed a black person and give them a pass. Because ultimately the color that person was about was blue. Blue being used in the wrong way. Okay? Louis was the one that ordered the shooting and killing of Charles Vaughn Sr. Charles Vaughn Sr., when he was, when Louis was a kid, Charles used to invite him over to his house because Louis was the same age as his oldest son, Charles Jr. The 4 kids that Charles Sr. had are my godchildren. Years before, Charles had asked me to be the godfather for his 4 children. And we still have that relationship today. So on that day, Monterey County Behavioral Health decided, for whatever their reason, that they were going to hospitalize Charles when he was doing nothing to warrant hospitalization. They made 2 calls, one to the Monterey police and then one to the Seaside police. The Monterey police said, hey, we know Mr. Vaughn, we talk to him every day, there's nothing wrong with him. They called the Seaside Police Department and said, we want this man hospitalized, and he's he has a history, of violence, which he didn't have. And so they went there that day, booted down his door, chased him out of his apartment right up here on Echo Street, chased him up onto the roof. And Louis Lumpkin, who Charles had treated like a son, went up on the roof with spray and sprayed Charles. Charles told him, Louis, I wouldn't do that if I were you. He ran out of spray, came down off the roof, went back up. Now Chuck, Charles, I used to call him, when he ran out of the back of his house because somebody was kicking in his door. Went up, got a corkscrew, really dangerous weapon, and went up on the roof. After Lewis sprayed him until he ran out of spray, then he came down, went over to these other two clowns, and asked one of them, "Can I borrow your pepper spray? Because I'm going to go back up on the roof." And this is all, and I still have the DA's report with these quotes, in which he said, "I'm going to go up on the roof, and I'm going to spray him one more time. And if he comes to me, cap him." And so when he went up on the roof and sprayed, and Chuck walked towards him, everything lit up out there. I forgot how many times they shot Chuck, but they killed him. That's murder. That's murder. That's murder. That's murder. And so what we did to keep myself from being in all kinds of trouble, we formed a task force. And this is maybe an example for you. We formed a task force that later became an organization called the Charles Vaughn Senior Mental Health Police Practices Task Force. And the things that we were able to do was this. One is that we were able to highlight and bring to the front the racism that was involved. We were also fortunate in our work, in our efforts, to be able to put together something called a Crisis Intervention Team Academy for Monterey County, in which all police officers were required to go and get trained in how to deal with people with mental health issues. That still exists today. That still exists today. Still exists today. We had a number of others as well. I want to go ahead on and sit down. But we had a number of others as well. But the one thing that we were not able to do was to get these cops prosecuted. That to me has lasted with me from that time till now. All I'm saying is keep pumping, keep moving, keep working, and then take a look at the fact that you have to have a movement in order to stop this, because this is a national issue. And so there's going to have to be national convocations. That means that you can start here locally, organize yourselves, work with other people in other parts of this state, but all of you are going to have to be part of a national convocation. And when that happens, and you come up with a national platform and program for how you deal with police brutality, then police brutality will start coming to an end. Thank you guys very much.
So I hope that what you got out of this is Seaside Police and Monterey Police have blood on their hands too. They have affected people's lives as well. And so as we stand here, we stand for Black lives. We stand against injustice, and we stand against discrimination, racial profiling, and murder. So I just want to let you guys know that today we have to make sure that our safety is our #1 priority as well. We have been threatened by white supremacists. We have been threatened from people in San Jose who are planning to come down today in order to incite violence. This is a peaceful protest. So if you see violence, stop it as soon as you can. Step in. Say, if you see something, say something. Help someone. Okay? So also, if you I just want to say we really care about the health of everybody here. We are in coronavirus season. If you have a disposable mask box, can you raise it up in the air? If you're one of the volunteers, look around you. If you're one of the volunteers with the disposable mask box, can you hold up? So if your mask is to break, or if you see someone without a mask, please ask around. We will get those masks passed out to people and protesters. We have to maintain the safety of everyone and be considerate of everyone's situation, and those who are immunocompromised and those who live with people who are elder. So thank you. For people who are new, there's a medical tent between the library and the portables. If you turn around this corner, God forbid if we get tear gas, we have anti-acid solutions where protesters in the crowd have them as well. It's made out of anti-acid and tap water. It's the best solution, and it provides instant relief. So we want to make sure that you guys are safe as well. Please do not go into violence. This is peaceful. I just want to stress that this is a peaceful protest, but that doesn't mean you can be quiet. That means get louder. So make sure that your voice is heard all throughout today, okay? Hell yeah! speeches, and then one poem, and then we're going to sing together, and then we're going to go back out, get our voices out and heard, and get some cars honking, okay? My bad. Sorry. First, we're going to have a moment of silence, and if everybody can raise the right fist, we're going to hold it for 2 minutes. I want it to be absolutely crickets. We're just going to stand in solidarity, especially to the lives that were lost while you're here. So if everyone can raise the right fist, I'll let us know when we're done. So we just want to thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hey, Rob.
Hey! Unbelievably, this is 2020. This started in 1619, 401 years ago. We were looted. Black people were looted. We were stolen. And we were brought to this country. We were stripped of our language. We were stripped of our royalty. We were stripped of everything known to us. And unbeknownst to us, 401 years later, we will still be in this situation where racism is at its all-time high. This has got to stop. Enough is enough. Who would have thought that this little black girl born in Fort Ord, California in 1970 would have experienced the racism that our forefathers paid a high price for late in the game? I grew up here in Seaside. Just like Mr. Mason said, they killed Chuck. Well, guess what? They killed one of my schoolmates, one of my classmates, Jimmy Barnes. He was also experiencing a mental health crisis. He had barricaded himself into a store on Broadway. And instead of the police coming out with responders who could help him, they shut up the store, they went in, and they killed him. That is just one of many other instances. I too want to call out, I might not get very many votes after this, but I too want to call out, a happy shooter that has traumatized my entire family. Officer Fernandez has put handcuffs on me and my children. And now he has gone to CSUMB. Guys, we better take a look at that because he is now over our students. That is not okay. Happy shooter has shot more than one person. The last person that he shot actually committed suicide. That never came out. The man was paralyzed and unable to take care of his family, and he committed suicide. We buried that. It's time to stop burying police brutality. It's time to take a look at racism and slap it in the face. It's time. Enough is enough. I am grateful for the unity and solidarity that I see out here today, because this means everything to us. This means everything to black people. Everybody's standing in solidarity with us. We appreciate that. I'm not going to echo very much of what Mr. Mason said, because he said enough. But I am going to read a small clip. Black is tough. Black is hard to do. Black is me. Black is you. Black is not something we get to choose, but it is something we get to cherish. Stand up and be black. The black man invented air conditioning. So in 2020, we should be able to breathe. We invented air conditioning. We should be able to breathe. Enough is enough. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. What makes me really sad is that we have to do this. How many years ago did slavery start and we're still here fighting? I knew that if I came here just to speak, I'd be here for hours. So I wrote something. 246 years of slavery, 99 years of Jim Crow laws, 86 years of lynchings, 14 years of fighting for civil rights, and police brutality to date. Our existence in America has been a fight since the first slave was dragged across this land. Too many deaths for a weapon they never knew they had. They call my arms guns, but they take it too literally. They tease us for not having fathers, but leave them dead on the streets for us to pick up. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, Tamir Rice, Philando Castile, Samuel Du Bois, Sandra Bland, Walter Scott, and many more. They tell me, you didn't experience what your ancestor did, but that doesn't mean I'm not affected by the history. They tell me how to react when my people are killed for merely existing. My skin is seen as a weapon, yet their bullet is in my back. This is an excerpt from a black poet named Keon from New York City. Justice is what we want. Rights are what we need. Victims is who we are, and pain is what we bleed. False is what they teach. The truth is what they hide. Everything is an illusion. Do not trust your eyes. I have a black father, he's standing right there. I have a black brother. I fear for their lives every day. Every day. My brother doesn't understand what's going on in America today, and that terrifies me. That terrifies me. I don't know what I would do if I lost my brother or my father. I fight for every one of you. So I know that every one of you can go out and not be scared for your life. They want to talk like us. They want to walk like us. They want to look like us. They want to be like us. They want to steal from black culture. But will they stand for black lives? Thank you. We got a poet who's going to read us a poem today. So I know we've been waiting, but this is just more energy and motivation to get out there and scream like your lungs have never screamed before, and stand like you have never stand before. So, here you go.
Hello, everybody. Hello everybody, my name's Omar Wilson. Just before I start, I just wanted to say that I've lived in this area for almost 20 years, and I'm just in disbelief with how many people that I live amongst decided to come out today and support everything that we tried to do. So thank you. I only want a high profile so the cops can't shoot me without no consequences. If they're even bold enough to shoot me at all. They can't take your life if they can tell by you rap, by your eyes, or see you on ESPN trying to ball. Cause too many people know you. When you ain't famous, you just a skin tone. They don't care if you got a family or got kids home. They ain't tripping if you leave your wife and your kids alone. They just empty full clips in your back, but somehow say that you pose a threat and you want to attack. Well, you running away. That's something my mind cannot wrap. You got on the force for a reason. Now you want to act scared? Shouldn't a firefighter be fired if he saw a fire but was too fearful to go up there? Or a surgeon whose hands got shaky before open hearts? Or a soldier who goes AWOL right before a real war starts? And if you're not doing what you get paid to do, then why should you be doing it? And if you knew you weren't capable before then why did you consider pursuing it? And if he fails to do his job, shouldn't he be losing it? Isn't that how jobs work? Last time I checked, murder equals prison. Isn't that how law works? Not if you pale or got a badge. If you got both, you immune from penalty. Saying he was wrong and sending him on paid vacations ain't helping me. But the case don't matter anyways. That's the system trying to save face. Forget having charges and forget a conviction. They killed him, he's dead, and now we can't fix it. We fix it by the cops not tripping every time they see black people just minding their business, claiming they look suspicious. It's funny because they don't get in trouble until we all see it on film. There's probably been dozens of cases swept under the carpet. They crack jokes as they stand over his carcass. They chasing him down like his back got a target, and we're forced to act like they're martyrs. The grim fact is that this isn't what the worst part is. Having to watch it repeat so often is the hardest. And if you feel indifferent and are justifying the way they treated a victim, then you truly feel indifferent about our people's existence. At first I thought black was for identification. Now I understand that it was created for separation. We keep begging for equality, knowing they won't give it. They saying the past is the past, but there ain't no future shifting. They acting like since Jim Crow is over, everything is picture perfect. But we know that in your eyes, we're still completely worthless. Check your Polaroid. We're traumatized and paranoid by a group of people that we can't avoid. Got me thinking maybe we need to split the nation. I don't want to, but too many deaths got me losing patience. Black America used to bother me as a kid until I realized being black in America is a death wish. They bring us here on ships, forced labor on us, coerced by losing a limb or meeting a whip. They banish our traditions to disconnect us from our ancestors, and for upcoming centuries, label us like the transgressors. Then tell us to go back where we came from, like we wasn't kidnapped, but immigrated. Obsessed with the new culture we created, but are still the most hated. So as far as I'm concerned, I respect the Malcolm approach. We tried to be peaceful kings back when they used to give us a necklace of rope. Now we reciprocating the hate since we become devoid of our hope. And since they don't care when we live, I think the racists need to go. And I mean disappear, I don't mean go slow. Cause they leave us to leak in the street, laid out on hot concrete. Or when they constricting our air, when we say that we can't breathe. Sometimes we don't even get the chance, cause they'll send barrage of bullets through your house while you sleep. Don't forget that within this is a lesson. They're picking us off because unity is our biggest weapon. Since they won't provide us peace, we just gonna have to take it. I just hope everybody on our side, risking their lives, can make it. Thank you.
All right, and just to, do a prayer of protection, we're going to invite someone up to just do a prayer. I know there's differences in religion, but, we just wanted to make sure that everyone stays safe, and so we're going to have some of our community members come out here and do a prayer, and then we're going to sing, and then we're going to go out there and go crazy, okay?
Good afternoon, everybody. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
opinions and your beliefs and who you believe in and what you believe in. But right now, the truth is, whatever you believe, whoever you believe, you need to reach out, because we all in this nation, in this world, are human beings, and we need humanity for us all. So as I go and begin, you can clap on that. You can clap on that. And so as I go in prayer, I ask that you would kind of go in prayer with me, and I ask that you would think about the things that you want to change. And believe me, change starts with you. If you want change, you have to change you to make them treat you different. Then change happens. And then you gotta vote. You gotta vote. You gotta vote. You gotta vote. And then one of the biggest things, and I said it Saturday, and I'm saying it again, I didn't come to talk, but I'm always talking, but I need everybody to look around and see who's standing next to you. Look around right now. See who is it is not one color, it's not two colors. We are a people. And if we don't unite as a people, change will never happen. So let us pray. We come to you now. We ask God that you would be in the midst as you already are. Lord, we ask first that you would go and be with the Floyd family. Lord, we ask that you would be with them and give them peace and covering in this time of their sorrow. Now, God, we ask that all the protests that are going on all across the country will be protests of peace and power. Protests of peace and power, that the people protesting, their voice will be heard. Nonviolence is the key, because you are a God of nonviolence. Let us represent peace and power. Everybody, peace and power. 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 And we all said amen, amen, amen.
Before you post, this is not a publicity stunt. This is not for clout. This is for people's lives. Wear out faces. Make sure people's identities are safe. Make sure you are safe. We have a medical tent. We have posters. So if you didn't bring a poster, guess what? We got you. If you want to create a poster, we got you. That's over there behind the snack table. The medical tent around the corner. It's between and the voting tables over there as well, because your vote matters and your voice matters.
All right, don't forget the census.
Oh yeah, so don't forget the census of 2020. So, so we're gonna have one speaker and then. All right, we hear you, and we hear your frustration. We hear you, and we feel the same way, because I got a black dad who served 20 years in the military, and he can come to a country that will shoot him too. I have a brother who's also serving for the military.
Look, we go to war with these motherfuckers, but we come here and we still ain't here.
And that's true. And that's true.
We still dying.
And we hear you.
Got some peace. These motherfuckers is over there. They ready to shoot us down. What y'all talking about? Y'all think they're gonna come out, oh, peace, don't worry about it. We're not gonna kill another black person. Well, guess what? We're not gonna kill another black person. Well, what happened again? They killing thousands of us. What are we doing? Peace and power, right? Peace and power, right? Well, let's see what the fuck they do to you. That's not gonna get us nowhere.
Speak your mind.
Okay, it's a valid concern.
So we got one more speaker.
Can you guys hear me? You guys can hear me? Okay,
thank you guys for coming out once again. I'm not going to have you guys standing for long. I know it's been a while. I do also apologize for the use of my phone. I'm a little nervous. This is one of my favorite songs. If you guys know it, please help me sing it. Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain. We all have sorrow. But if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow.
Oh, look, we came out here to start some chaos. We came out here not to come out here to come sing. We didn't come out here to come pray. For real, bro, y'all came out here to come to war. Y'all see what's going on in these foreign countries. Y'all see what's going on all around America. Niggas is starting some shit up. If you gotta be at war, be at motherfucking war every day. It's not a day that goes by to where another nigga gets killed and we say it's cool. Is it cool to y'all? Is it peaceful for y'all? Oh, good. Y'all like that shit? They is not about to take us serious with this peaceful ass march. I'm dead ass. If y'all gonna make some noise, make some motherfucking noise. That's for real. No justice, no peace. Please, no justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace. No racist ass police. No justice, no peace. 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 Everybody,
Some of our student graduates, Sydney Johnson, who served as student trustee and was class of 2019. She's currently a student at UCLA. Herself and a few other former students of MPUSD came and organized today, and I'm Sydney's mentor, and so she asked if I would support this event, so I made a few calls, and I got a lot of dignitaries out today.
What is the name of the group?
They're part of Black Lives Matter.
Okay. Why was it important for you to be here today? You mentioned supporting that, but overall, why was it important?
It was important for me to be here today because I feel like I didn't have a right not to be here, but I had a responsibility to be here because the skin that I was born in did not allow me to sit back in silence I am also the mother of 2 sons and 2 daughters, and we have all experienced racism and police brutality.
What are your feelings about how this protest is going? Is it good to see it stay so peaceful?
This protest is amazing. Our youth and young adults here are well prepped for this. They're born in. They weren't sworn in. So this is a part of who they are. It's in their DNA. And they know what to do here. So the Seaside protesters and everyone else that has come out to support is doing an awesome and amazing job today. So we hope to spread this message throughout the entire world, not just our country. Today is Blackout Tuesday. We're all standing in solidarity, blacking out our social medias. So we want this thing to go viral till everyone unites and stands in solidarity. We want to mobilize and we want to end racism. Enough is enough. You are more than welcome. Thank you.
I like to get people together, and I love what we're doing out here right now. Albritton, A-L-B-R-I-T-T-O-N.
Okay, what message are you here for today? What would you like to tell the people?
So my message today is unity. You see all these people, all these different colors, everybody coming together today. It was peaceful. We're all here for the same cause. I want to preach unity. I don't want to preach violence. I don't think violence is the answer right now for out here, I should say. But I do appreciate everybody coming together, and I think the fact that we're all doing this is showing the world, is showing the city that, we're all together. We're all one big family.
What do you think about the growth of this? On Saturday, you're out meeting a couple hundred people, now you're at 1,000.
I think it just shows the fact that people are starting to get our message, and people are starting to hear us and understand us and see what we're about and see what we're talking about.
You had the police chief here as well, just listening in. What does that mean to you as a Black person?
Oh, it means the world to me. It means the world that he supports us and lets us know that, he stands with us and we're not alone and he's not against us, and that's the most important thing to us is that we have the support and we have the support of the chief and, we love him. Salute.
Terrence, how do we take this energy, this movement, and, move forward with Black lives and move forward with equality?
I think we just keep on doing what we're doing right now. I think we're doing a great job right now. I know it's a little quiet today, but I understand that it had to be peaceful, but I think we just need to be louder. We just need to keep on going, and we need to do it the right way. We need them to hear us, and if we got to do what we got to do, then we got to do what we got to do. But we don't want to do that. We want it to be peaceful, and we want you to hear us, but I do think that we're getting our message across, and every time we're getting bigger and bigger, and that's all that matters.
Sure. Is there anything else you'd like to add for us?
Don't
call Sandy out.
No, I do want to add that I appreciate the community. I appreciate the white people, the Mexican people, the Asian people, everybody, every race that's coming out here and supporting our cause. You guys didn't have to be out here, and we definitely appreciate that. And go Monterey Torador.
Great.
Oh, Monterey Torador.
Thank you.
Time for running. Should have brought a bigger sign. tackle that leg.
Black lives matter!
lap. That's going to keep on going. That one might be going home. Hey, in Salinas we did 2 laps. One did a short lap and one did a longer lap. I'm getting too tired. I'm not doing the long lap this time. Well, you know what? If there's anything up and positive, I want to be a part of it. And this is wonderful. I mean, this looks like it can't say no to this. I've been every single one of them. I heard there's no one in Salinas tonight, but you never know. Oh, as long as they keep telling me where they're at, I'll be there. Another one.
Show up. You're ready.
Like there's this one doing the longer lap. I'm like, no, I'm not going the long. I'm gonna get tired. Like,
You're getting tired?
yes.
Oh, well, you need a backup. You need an assistant.
That's it. Right? A little. Oh, you know what would be great is one of those segways. You just hop right on it. And, woo.
You need a ginger shot.
Oh, there she is.
You need your electrolytes. You need a Gatorade and a ginger.
I almost got one when I was leaving, and then I was like, well, I'll miss the crowd if I go and make a pit stop. All right, back to work.
Black lives matter!
I get that we're saying that we want peace, but Martin Luther King, who I look up to, the reason I got into the NAACP, the reason that I am vice president, 26 years old, and vice president of a Democratic club in the Monterey. I get that. I should be the expectation, not the exception. I should be the expectation and not the exception. I'm tired of how they put us down, black and brown.
Yes, sir.
It's me, Espanol, amigos aquí.
¡Sí se puede! 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 ¡Sí se puede!
Martin Luther King wouldn't forever be in our DNA, but Malcolm fucking X is in my DNA now. I said Malcolm fucking X is in my DNA right now. I'm tired. I want policy changes. I want the fucking system destroyed. I'm not a pastor, so I'm sorry.
Yeah!
But I'm tired of just marching. I'm tired. Where's our leaders at when we're dying in the streets? Where's our allies at when we're dying in the streets without this? This is the thing that saved George Floyd's name. This is the thing that saved George Floyd's name. Without this. So keep chanting loud, but remember, marching ain't gonna do it. We're gonna have to start a fucking revolution.
Thank you guys for just being a part. There are snacks, waters. We do not want anybody passing out from dehydration. But let's shut the fuck down of Broadway and shut it the fuck down and march over there and show me So we're gonna leave. We're gonna go now. We don't give a fuck what the police does. We're protesting. We're protecting protesters, period. We stand loud and we stand together. Allies, if you see a black person getting picked on, you put your body in front of them and say, they can't touch us if we're all together. Y'all hear that? So we're gonna go down
peace. No justice, no peace. No racist police. 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 No justice, no peace. No racist ass 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 police. Black lives matter. 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 Hands up. Hands up. Don't shoot. 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 Hands up. Hands up. Hands up. Hands up. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Hands up. 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 Hands up. Justice for Floyd! 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 Don't shoot! 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 Black lives matter!
We have budgets coming up this month, June. I need every single person to contact their mayor and their city council and demand that we spend less money on police. In Seaside, we have a $32 million budget. 32. We spent $14 million on our cops. Money to go to childcare, to food, to rent programs.
racist police. No justice, no peace. Racist police. No justice, no peace. Racist police.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Right.
I can't
Please get off my neck, cops. Get off my neck. Mama, I can't breathe. So I want us to stand up and I want us to holler. I can't breathe until the motherfucking cops hear us. Let's go. I can't breathe. 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 I can't breathe.
Thanks for providing the escort.
Oh, absolutely. I can't breathe. 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 Mama said I can't breathe. 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 Everybody, revolution. Revolution. Revolution.
Oh, can we?
Revolution. Revolution.
Let's go.
All right, everybody, grab some water, get some food, whatever you gotta do. But remember, every day we need to be protesting. Every day. Stand up. And every day we need to call for accountability. Public reform boards, public oversight boards with firing authority. Defund the cops. Demilitarize the cops. Every single day. Our lives, his life, her life, our lives depend on it. Come with us on this fight.
Budget cuts are happening, the mass will happen to the fucking cops. The mass will fucking cops. Social services for helping communities. We do not need patrollers. We do not need violence. No, if you feel like there is something going on, marching is amazing, but there are people in power who can make changes. That's one thing. The Seaside and Salinas. Budget cuts are happening and they should happen to the cops.
for the right to vote, to fight for the right to live, to exist, to be a part of this earth. Our blood is the same color, that is all that matters. And what I see on the outside is beautiful people who are here to support every other person who is here. Thank you for your time.
Your voice matters. You being here matters. But are you voting? And if you're not even registered, we got you. There's a voter registration table right there. If you're by the table, raise your hand, raise your hand. Raise your hands. We got a voter registration right here. This is how we get the motherfuckers out. Remember, your safety is our #1 priority. We do not want anyone passing out from heat exhaustion. If you have not drank water, please get a water bottle. Please stay hydrated. That is important to us. We're going to rest for now because we walked pretty far, but we're going to walk again. We're going to march again. So please fuel up for the next march. Thank you. Love each other, meet each other, talk to each other, and stand together. Thank you.
Here we go.
Everybody, quick announcement, quick announcement. I know we do have some stuff offered for everybody, but please do not litter. Please do not litter. We have trash bags to get rid of your trash. Please do not litter. Thank you. Greatest essay propaganda, don't do none of that. Please keep it peaceful. Mind your business and remember why we are here. Please. Don't feed into it. Because it's not going to be worth any of it. It'll totally defeat the purpose of why we are here. Please keep it peaceful. Please, 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 please keep it peaceful. Thank you guys.